Hello, it's Charlotte, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about white hat versus black hat SEO, because I know these are two terms that get thrown around and often people are like, what does that mean? So I'm going to be explaining that to you in this video. We're talking all about white hat and black hat SEO, what it is, whether it's good, it's bad, how you can do it, how you can avoid it, all that sort of thing. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, you want to know more about it, you want to make sure that you're not about to mess anything up when it comes to your Squarespace website, then you are in the right place. And when it comes to Squarespace SEO, don't forget that I have lots more content all about that topic here on my YouTube channel and on my blog. I also talk about web design and development, online marketing, business. So if you want to learn any more of those topics, then take a peek. But today we are talking about white hat and black hat SEO. And I wanted to share something with you before we begin. And that is that I wanted to let you know that I have a free Squarespace SEO checklist that you can download. And I'm going to leave the link to that just down below here. And this has been downloaded by like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So if you grab a copy, you are in excellent company. And whether you are just getting started with Squarespace SEO, or maybe you've been at it for a little while and you want to make sure you haven't forgotten anything, then this Squarespace SEO checklist is 100% something that you should grab. And yeah, like whether you just want to have someone lay it all out and be like, do this, 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 and this. Or if you're like, oh, I want to make sure I haven't forgotten anything, then this is for you. So again, the link for it will be down below and you can thank me. Thank me once you have a copy of it. But today we are talking about the difference between white hat and black hat SEO, okay? And when it comes to that, we have like two different things. So we have white hat SEO, which is basically the good SEO. And then we have black hat SEO, which is the bad SEO. And you might be like, what does that mean? Like bad and good SEO? Don't I just want my website to rank in Google? And the answer to that is like, not quite. Like, so we want, yes, of course, the goal with SEO is that you want your website to show up higher in online search results, because if you show up higher in online search results, that means you get more traffic to the website, you have greater visibility online, it means more chance to reach your potential clients and customers, therefore make more product sales or book more of your services, grow your brand, all that kind of thing. There's many reasons why SEO is like so beneficial. But when it comes to SEO, we want to make sure that we are doing it in a way that is long lasting and sustainable, meaning we do not ever for even a split second want Google to think that there is trickery or any shady business going on, because if Google thinks that you are trying to hack them and like outsmart their algorithm, then you are going to get penalized for that. Because remember, Google's entire point of being is that they want someone to do an online search through their search engine, and they want the results that they bring up to be the best, highest quality, and most relevant results to whatever query someone just typed into Google. And again, if you kind of use these shady black hat SEO tactics to kind of like leapfrog forward and get more traffic, eventually Google is going to realize it. Like Google is really, 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 really smart, right? Like think about the like warehouses of engineers that they have down in wherever. And they're so smart, and Google will know eventually at some point that you are trying to trick them, and they're going to penalize you for that, whether it is a short-term penalty or in most cases a long-term like ban, or outright they're just not going to include you at all. Like that's not something that we want. So with that in mind, it's really important to know what white hat and black hat SEO is, so that we can either do more of the good or avoid or fix, if you have done any, fix any of the bad things that you've done. So let's start first with the bad, which is the black hat SEO, and then we'll talk about the good, okay? So I've just got my notes here. So when it comes to black hat SEO, there's a couple different things that you can do that you'll get penalized for. And the number one, which is probably the most common that I would see, is keyword stuffing. And I have another video that talks a bit more about keyword stuffing, so I'm going to link to that up above. But basically, keyword stuffing is if you go into any of the like pages, blog posts, product pages, whatever, galleries even on your website, and you just start smacking those keywords in there in a really unnatural way. Okay. So like that's something that we don't want, because just because you repeat the keyword many times doesn't mean that Google is going to say, oh, well, if they use those keywords 50 times on the page, then therefore it must be the most relevant. We'll return it to the top of the search results. Like, no, no, that's not going to be. Instead, Google is going to be like, wow, they use that word, those keywords 50 times on this page. I think that's a little off, and that's not how a normal person wants to read it. Therefore, we're going to penalize them for it. Okay. So basically, keyword stuffing, again, people do it most commonly by accident, or they think they've read a really old, outdated article that told them to just like keep repeating the keyword, use it, use it, use it, use it. And that's not the case, right? My biggest tip is if you're reading over your own page, your blog post, your product page, whatever, read it and think, is this natural? Am I writing in a way that feels natural? And if a real person is reading it, they're going to be like, yep, like those are real sentences. And that's how I would speak or write too. As long as you stick to that, then yes, you'll probably be fine. Okay. So keyword stuffing, most common one that people do, easy to fix as well. Just rework your copy if you need to. The second really common thing when it comes to black hat SEO that I want you to avoid is people will do really like bad or shady paid links. Okay. And so what do I mean by that? Basically, when it comes to links, you'll know that there's different type of websites. There's links that exist internally on your website, meaning you're linking, let's say, from the home page to the services page to a blog post to your about or something. You're linking within your website. And then there's also external links. So that could be when your website links out to another website, or if another website links in to yours. That's an inbound link or a backlink. And I have another video that talks a bit more about like how to get backlinks if you want to. So I'll link to that up above. But basically, when it comes to black hat SEO, if you are getting a link from another website that is shady, like just kind of a spammy link farm or something, then Google's going to penalize you for that. And also, Google is going to penalize you for paying for an ad or paying for a link and not like disclosing it. So that's going to be different than if you're like, oh, this is sponsored content on a blog or something, right? Like that's different. You won't necessarily get like penalized for that. But if you are paying to put your link on a kind of like shady directory or something, then Google is going to see that. They're going to think, wow, this is not a really like good, valid link. It's not helpful. This is not something that benefits anyone who's searching for this kind of content or website. So they'll penalize you for it. So again, the fix here, just don't engage in any of those shady links. If you want a backlink, that's great, but don't get any of the bad ones. Okay. And then the third thing that people often do when it comes to like black hat or bad SEO is that they'll try to hide content on the page itself and like trick Google. And so often this means that maybe they're going to add more keywords or something into certain spots, whether it's like tags or in the code of the page. So not something that like the person would really see, but like that Google, the bot, will see when they're crawling and indexing your website. So yeah, it could be in the tags, it could be in the code. People also will do it. Sometimes they'll like hide it by doing maybe like white text on a white background or like black text on a black background. So again, the person who's viewing it can't necessarily see it, but Google will see that you've got that content on the page, but you're doing it in a way that is not meant to be visible. And so Google will penalize you for that. So again, basically in that case, just like don't do it. Like don't hide content or keywords on the page. Google's going to see it. They're going to know that it's there, and they could and probably will penalize you for it. Okay. But it's not all doom and gloom. Remember, that's black hat, like bad SEO. Now let's talk about white hat or good SEO. Okay. So just like there are things that you wanted to avoid doing that will get you penalized for, on the flip side, there are things that you can do that Google will reward you with and give you benefits for following their best practices. Okay. And I'm going to go through a couple of these quickly with you. So the first one is that you want to make sure that the content on your website, whether it's a web page, a blog post, a product page, whatever it is, that it is filled with high quality content. Think about what is someone typing into Google and how can you satisfy that online search with the content of your website. So again, lean into long form, high quality, keyword rich content that uses really like natural language, right? How can you think about like making your content as good as or better than what's currently ranking? That's the number one. That's the easiest. And again, stick to like natural language and you'll be fine on that front. The second thing that you can do that's really good is thinking about like good web design and user experience. So again, not trying to like hide anything using weird colors or something like that. Really, when you want it so that when Google reviews your page, when they crawl and index it, they can easily find out what you're talking about. They can easily access important bits of content otherwhere on your website. Like really just lean into a nice clean, easy to navigate design that is really simple for someone to use. Okay. That's going to be really helpful as well. The third thing is make sure that you're using keywords, right? Because that helps Google figure out what you're talking about, but use them properly. So again, avoid keyword stuffing, but make sure that you're using the keywords properly in the titles, in descriptions, in the image file names and alt text. Use keywords nicely throughout the main long form content that you have, right? Like there's so many different ways that you can use keywords within the content of your website. Just make sure that you're doing it in a way that is normal and natural, right? Okay, the next thing that you want to do is quality backlinks. So again, remember how I said don't get like shady, bad, paid, scammy links? On the flip side, you want to get good links. Again, I'm going to link up above here to a video that talks more about high quality backlinks. So I'll tell you where you can get them, how you can get it, how you can use it not only as part of your PR, but also to strengthen your domain authority. Backlinks are so good for SEO when you do it properly. And so I really encourage you to, think about fixing your website content first. And then once you have that in place and you're like, you have a content strategy in place, all that sort of thing, then go in and start really trying to get those high quality backlinks. It's going to do wonders for your SEO on your Squarespace website. Okay. And then that brings us to the last one, which is kind of contentious, like especially given the way that things are right now. This is a big period of change in the internet and the way it works. But a lot of people think that a good way to get better SEO is to avoid tools like AI and ChatGPT. So again, I'm not saying that like ChatGPT and like AI or something are things that you need to avoid entirely, but don't rely on them is the only way that you create content for your website, your blog, your products, whatever. Instead, if you are going to use those tools, make sure that you are doing that in addition to anything that you can add on to it. So like sure, it can be helpful for like a framework or something, or to get an ideas or summaries or whatever in place. But remember, Google loves natural language and they want to make sure that you're not just like using ChatGPT to write the exact same blog post that everyone and their cat has already written about that topic. You know what I mean? So again, I'm recording this in December of 2023. Who knows how the whole like AI ChatGPT thing is going to play out over the next couple of years. But I would really encourage you, if you do use those tools, do not rely on a single like copy paste functionality. Instead, use them to assist you, but also use your own skills as a writer, a content creator, a copywriter, whatever it is, to use that as a framework and then add on to it, put your own spin, like kind of think critically about like what is ChatGPT writing and how can you make that better by using your like human brain and thinking about what Google wants in terms of high quality content to then return your web page or your website, your blog post, whatever. Okay. I hope that makes sense. So, my friend, there you have it. We've got the difference between black hat SEO and white hat SEO. We've talked about the good, the bad, what you should do more of, what you should avoid. And I hope this is helpful for you because I know that these are things that can seem really like technical or confusing if you don't know what they are. But once you kind of learn and you have an understanding, you break it down, you're like, oh, okay, like I get it now. It's not that bad. So, before you go, make sure you grab a copy of that Squarespace SEO audit at Squarespace SEO checklist and take a look at the other videos that I have here on my YouTube channel or the content that I have on my blog, all the additional resources, guides, downloads, tutorials, whatever it is, it's all there on my website. And if you liked this video, if you like this more kind of like chatty, informative type of video, leave me a thumbs up or a comment down below to tell me you liked it, or maybe you're like, no, go back to tutorials or something. That's fine. I don't care. Just tell me like what you like to see more of here. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you again soon in the next video. Bye.